Bringing you one of our fantastic podcasts for your listening pleasure. It's Singapore, Sex, Hands and Toys. Firstly, I want to say thank you so much for your amazing emails this week. We've got a fair few good ones. Some fantasies that I was shocked to read about, and some ones I'm going to use. Any of the ones you want to use, or they all were just totally unique and different to you?
I have a good imagination, so, I'm all right.
So you'd already done some of them then?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, well, some of them were brand new to me and I might use them, but we'll be discussing that in another private time. Today's a whole new kettle of fish, and we're going to be discussing female masturbation, which is a bit of a sticky one and probably more in my corner. However, Hunk is fantastic with a female vagina and masturbation, and actually probably knows more than a woman herself and has lots to teach about a man.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. So first things first, let's get sticky. Taboo. Do girls talk about it, or are they slowly taking taboo away? Your girlfriends, not your girlfriends, because you don't have a girlfriend. Although, are you seeing anyone since?
Nobody exclusively.
Okay. Oh, of course, Mr. Open Relationship.
Right.
Right. So your girlfriends, your female friends, do they discuss it to you? Oh, well, I mean, before you became what you are.
So, with girls, yeah, because if somebody can I usually make girls squirt. That's sort of like my thing. So if a girl squirts really easily, it usually means that she's very comfortable masturbating, and then at that point I'll usually ask them like, oh, do you masturbate a lot? And they'll be like, yeah, I do, or
So
some girls just come out and tell you straight up.
So this is only girls that you've been with, not friends?
Probably not friends. Probably
they don't
not.
talk to you about that?
It
Well, now they probably do, but
It depends.
Before?
It depends on the conversation, but
I guess.
I don't have like super close female friend relationships.
Okay.
So yeah.
Apart from me now.
Usually wouldn't come up.
Yeah, I mean,
What about you and your girlfriends? Do you guys talk about it all the time?
I am always the instigator of it.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, it's like right now it's your label, it's your thing. It's
Yeah,
what girls,
but it's always
it's
been
like
my-
the guilty pleasure.
I've
right?
always talked about friends. I've always talked about it with friends. I actually remember a couple of years ago, a friend of mine, and I was like, well, don't you masturbate? And she was like, no. And I was like, what? Really? Never? No. I didn't understand. And to me, that means you've never had an orgasm. So,
Right.
which was quickly stopped with, of course I have. Which, I'm sorry, if you've had an orgasm, you're going to masturbate because you've had it once. You're going to want that again. When it's like for boys, the first time they masturbate, they go, oh, that is amazing, and they keep doing it. So to me, I think you start masturbating once you've had an orgasm. And not all girls love to talk about it, unless you're my friend, in which case you're forced. And this is before I started working in the beautiful sex toy industry. I've just always talked about it with my friends because I've always enjoyed it. It's always been not a huge part of my life, but it's been something that's important to me. I use it to relax, to sleep, to pleasure myself, to discover sex better. I think I have far better sex probably because I masturbate. I know what's good for me. I know what I can say, what I want, how I want to be touched and how I want to be felt. So, but I know it's still a bit taboo. Definitely.
I just want to underline something you said, which I think is really, I haven't heard that anywhere else, which is, if you don't masturbate, you've probably never had an orgasm as a woman or as a guy. It makes a lot of sense, and I'd never heard that before. But I think when you're talking to your friends and they say they don't masturbate, you can probably, like draw the arrow backwards, and you can probably assume that they haven't had an orgasm.
I'm pretty sure
and that's something that women need to do. They need to have an orgasm.
And you're not going to know how to come until you make yourself come. So, yeah, I think that friend probably wasn't very happy when I'm very certain I snapped back, well, you've never had an orgasm.
But she was happy once she figured it out. And
well,
then
I don't know. Maybe I should ask her.
Okay, well, just circle back around.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, some of these things, like the first time that I masturbated, it was because I watched a movie where a character like goes into a room and he masturbates and he comes out with like a cup. He's like in a sperm bank. So I didn't realize, it wasn't on my radar at all that like masturbation was a thing, right? So I was so happy, I guess would be the right word, that I got that information, and then
so you could go and
apply it every day, multiple times a day.
Yeah. Well, I think for guys, it's just a common thing. Like, I'm going to go and, get it off. But for girls, a girl would never say no to the girl, I'm just going to go masturbate, I'll be back in a second.
Right.
Or,
Why,
your
right?
shower's long.
Right.
Like, you guys know when you go on holiday together, that guy had a really long shower, he probably had a bit of a play. Whereas girls, I would never say to my friends, oh, I just masturbated, just so you know. But I do have a friend here in Singapore, and I remember one night her saying, I just wanted to be left alone so I could just masturbate 8 times and go to sleep. So I do have those friends now, but I also think that maybe it was, and this is before I was doing this, but I also think perhaps an age is a huge thing. I think when you hit your late 20s, early 30s, you discuss it a lot more because you're more comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
I certainly can't imagine 18, 19, 20, early 20-year-olds discussing masturbation. I think you're still discovering yourself then. So...
And you're shy. You're not sure if the self that you're discovering is the right self, the cool self, or the uncool self. So you're sort of keeping your cards a little bit closer to your chest.
Yeah, you don't experiment. You don't know. You really don't know when you're young, unless you're quite an experienced, sexual, enlightened person, which is fantastic. And I hope more girls in their teens and 20s are.
I mean, but even if you're having great sex or you're having great masturbation sessions, if that's the right word, phrase.
Great word, love it.
Yeah. You might not be comfortable sharing that with people because you're not sure if that's...
They're doing that.
Yeah.
You need, and I think it's not something you just discuss with any friend. It's got to be a friend that you know quite well, potentially just seen naked when you've, quickly changed, and it needs to be it's certainly not a conversation, unless you hang around with me at the moment, that you're going to pop up. Like, I pretty much bring it up at almost every female dinner conversation, which is fantastic.
Yeah,
I love they're so open about it.
It's cool. I mean, I think a lot of people shy away from awkwardness in conversations, and I don't think that's a good way to live your life. So if you're with a friend and she talks or she hints or something about masturbation, like, just go for it, just talk about it. And if it's a little bit awkward, like, fuck it, who cares? Like, be open, get hurt, it's all right. So just, like, talk about this stuff, it's okay.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the person who made you feel uncomfortable has probably gone home feeling even more uncomfortable because they weren't cool enough to talk about it. Right.
You don't want to shame somebody because they brought up something intimate and real. Like, you don't want to be that asshole, right?
And
so don't.
Everyone does it. It's just that every girl will talk about it.
Yeah.
But if you are my friend, you do talk about it, and I know how often you do it. And I won't bring up your names to some of my favourite masturbatory friends. I think you're fantastic and I love you.
Speaking of masturbatory friends.
Ooh, there's a whole other thing on that. So another part with masturbating for girls is straight fingers or toys. So being in the toy industry, me being advocate for toys, but discovering yourself, discovering your G-spot, you need fingers. I mean, you can use a toy for it, but I really think you need to know what it feels like. So,
like, it's not dirty. It's not dirty. You should get your fingers in there.
Definitely.
Feel around.
Definitely.
You're not gonna break anything. You're not gonna hurt anything.
Do yourself a favor. 2 drops of lube. Go crazy on it. Find your G-spot. That's the most important thing. So, I'm both. I'm fingers and toys. Even though I have a plethora of toys, but that's not the discussion. We'll discuss my favorite ones.
We could.
Well, there's a huge list. No, I've got my 2 favorites at the moment, which I'm pretty much going in between the 2. Both. I'm a both person by far. I've got friends which still make me angry, girls, who don't have any toys and they only use fingers, because another one of my friends said, well, I don't need a toy because I know how to get myself off within 2 minutes. I'm like, every time? It's like, pretty much.
Yeah.
So she claims that you can. She doesn't need a toy. So
let's broaden it a little bit. Instead of toys, so I agree. Toys and fingers are good to go. They're both like different times for different things. Your mood. What about like lube and stuff? Because that's also sort of a toy. Because fingers and lube is a very different experience than just fingers and spit or just fingers. Ew. What? What's wrong with spit? What's wrong with spit?
Something about me. I hate spit. It's disgusting. Just don't even talk about it. Just don't even use the word ever again.
All right.
No, I don't.
Okay.
No. Oh, please.
Please excuse Rachel while she freaks out about the stuff that's in your mouth.
Oh my God, I remember this guy once spitting on his hand and putting it on my vagina. It was the most disgusting thing ever. I'm pretty sure I closed those legs and left. It's foul. No.
But then you kissed him.
No, I'm very certain the legs closed and I was out.
But did you ever kiss the guy?
Yes.
So you would kiss him and get his spit in your mouth, but you
he
wouldn't want it.
Spat on his hands and put it on my vagina. It was
so once the spit leaves your mouth, it becomes dirty.
I don't care. It was no, it was just so gross. Like, obviously, it just wasn't wet enough and fine. But go for the beautiful lube. Oh my God, no, I was mortified. It was disgusting. I don't like spit. End of story.
I've spit on my hand and used it before.
Okay,
I've done this.
yeah, see?
I've done it.
Oh.
I've done it.
Oh.
Don't shame me.
Do you need some extra lube for your side of your bed? Please don't ever again. I'm a massive lube person. I think if you want to explore your vagina, the best thing you can do, put 2 drops of lube on your fingers, spread it around, play on the outsides of your labia, then slowly go in. There's no spit. I can't believe you even brought that up. I'm actually still getting a bit grossed out.
Grossed out? Okay.
I am a little bit.
Okay. Once you're turned on, you're gonna have your own natural lube. What's the difference for a girl between like your own lubrication and like let's say a silicone-based lube or a water-based lube?
Well, we can go into the different of lubricants another time because that's a whole other topic. They say after 40 that you need lubricant because your body doesn't produce the natural wetness anymore. During sex, we use lube now because we've found a new, different love for it. But everyone's different. It's a really tough one to say, oh, you should always use lube because some people don't need it. I never thought I did, but now I've been using it. It's a whole different sexual experience, and it's certainly a different experience when I masturbate because I can pretty much go straight in. I'm not feeling some things, and I definitely have been able to find my G-spot and give myself a, inner orgasm quite quickly.
Right. Because
I've had the lubricant and it's been a lot more relaxed. You don't tense up because it goes straight in.
Okay.
So,
yeah, because it's like silky smooth and there's no friction, there's no
exactly.
tugging, it's actually like you got to try a good like silicone-based lube. It's pretty good shit.
Exactly. Silicone
really
doesn't
good.
dry out, so priorities of.
Yeah.
But never use a silicone-based lube with toys or condoms. That's a warning.
There you go.
Very important. We'll touch on that again. So let's go on frequency. So for me, of course, I can tell you because I'm a girl. What do you think that girls, not me,
right?
But on average, how often do you think girls would masturbate?
I would think. So again, I'm not going to give you an straight answer, but like it probably varies so much, right? Some girls just don't.
Yep.
Like they say
Just
they don't,
okay
and they
too.
actually don't.
Yep.
And some are like I was with a girl who masturbates. I don't know, every day. 10 times.
A day.
A day.
What, like with a toy, with her fingers, just knew exactly how to get herself off, and she was just clitorally just stimulating her clitoris, or was she full on, like was she internally?
I'm not sure if she had toys. I don't know.
Was she
just like really horny, like early 20s, just really, really horny.
But was she more like needed to come internally? She was looking for a G-spot to really like
know.
penetration, or was she just
I don't know. I didn't ask her that.
flicking that bean?
Didn't ask her about the flicking the bean or the internal.
It's a really important question. Why can you just email her or share on her Facebook? You just ask her. It would be crucial. It would be very interesting to know if it was bean or bigger bean.
Bean or bigger bean. You heard it here, Singapore. Please don't kick us out of the country.
I'm really curious to know. So if you could ask her, that would be awesome. For me, I speak to my girlfriends. They're generally 2-3 times a week. Sometimes a double on the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm every day.
So that's sessions. So every day. Okay.
I'm an everyday person.
And that's like sessions. So you'll have at least one session a day.
Definitely. Sometimes two.
Sometimes two.
but,
Morning or evening or bathroom break.
Well, we know I work from home, so I mean that does give me the luxury to do it whenever I like. But the thing is,
do you have like a routine?
No, I certainly don't have a routine. I always mix it up.
Okay.
I
Not like
have
in the shower every day. You don't do that. No.
Nope.
Okay.
In fact, I've never masturbated in the shower.
Okay.
That's actually something people keep telling me, oh my God, have you used a shower head? I actually haven't. So I do need to.
So when are you doing it?
I don't know, maybe next week. We'll talk about it next week. Give me a week or two, I'll do it. I don't know.
No, but like during the day. During the day,
I masturbate pretty much every day, but it's just purely because I'm always looking at sexual content. I'm looking at toys, I'm looking at, I'm looking up blogs, I'm writing blogs, I'm writing things about sex. And it's hard because you get there and also I'm studying at university, so when you're studying and you get to a point of an essay and you just can't finish it, you just get so frustrated. I go and I masturbate and I relieve, and it's like 10 minutes out to myself, and I don't think about anything else. I relieve myself and I go back. But it's pretty much every day. Unless I'm not in the house for the day, I'm out networking, doing other things, meeting people. It's pretty much daily.
Gotcha.
I'm not gonna lie.
Now for guys, you masturbate and you're done. I mean, like basically you have the refractory period of like 15 minutes to multiple hours depending on the guy. And then like basically if you start masturbating again, that's like another session. So, but for girls, you can just go and go and go.
You
So, like,
can.
what do you think about how many times would a girl come in one session?
Ooh.
Like, what's the average? What's your preference?
I'm a bean flicker.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I'm clitoral orgasm central person. Like when I come clitorally, it is like amazing, and
you
that's my no I don't. I'm done. I'm happy.
All right.
It's a lot more effort for a blended orgasm or a G-spot orgasm, and I know, and I don't want to do that on my own. I really enjoy, although with the rabbit, that's a whole other ball game. We'll discuss rabbits in a whole. Oh my god, that's like that's where you get a really good blended orgasm. Oh my god, it's amazing. But I'm generally daily clitoral orgasm. That's what I hit for. I know I can get it quickly. G-spot is too hard. Well, it's not too hard, but it's more effort. You can't just you can't womanize that.
Do you need to thrust with a certain rhythm or intensity, or can you just like put?
I've got
like,
toys that do this.
Yeah, so you can just click a setting on the toy, get it on your G-spot once you know where it is. And,
I certainly need to move with it.
No, you
I need to move with it,
All
but I have ones that are specifically for G-spot. But it needs to be warmed up. I can't just do it like that. It doesn't just happen. It's definitely something that needs to be warmed up, and I need to. It has to enlarge, and then I can really feel it. Like it's not just something you just tap, 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 and Whereas, you could probably tap your clitoris a few times if you were really horny, and you'd probably get off. Think about those like wet dreams you have. Anyway, so I think frequency for girls is higher than what they say. I will openly say pretty much every day, but I think a lot of girls say never or once or twice, and I think they really mean 5.
I think everything.
If they're single, because it's hard if you're in a relationship.
Okay, I think just about everything for girls and sex, they're usually being a little bit more conservative when they tell other people.
The times 3 rule.
Yeah, exactly.
American
Sexual partners, times you masturbate, how much you think about sex, how much you want sex. In general, girls are usually
shyer,
pushing the number down a little bit. Guys are probably inflating it. Yeah.
Like we said, it's still taboo.
Right.
It is. They're not there yet. They're not there, and the way girls and guys interact is very different. Anyway, so we're going to go into my Q&A. We haven't even got to Q&A yet. Shit, we better get on with it. Okay, so this is from Sarah. She didn't mind me using her name. She's 27. She lives here in Singapore. I masturbate once or twice a week, but only with my fingers and hands. I'm interested in using a toy / vibrator, but I'm nervous and I don't know where to start or even what to do. So we'll go through this quite quickly. Hunk?
I mean, so toys is really broad. You could use like your shower head. You could use a pillow and hump it. I mean, if you're just using your fingers.
She wants a toy.
Okay, so like a serious.
Pillow is not a toy.
Serious
shower
toy.
head is not a toy.
Okay. So use a stuffed animal.
Fine.
Your stuffed animal. No, I'll defer to you because you are the toy expert. So what do you think? Like, very first one.
Okay, I always tell ladies their first time. First thing I always ask them is, are you more of a clitoral orgasmer, or do you work better with penetration or
and
G-spot?
They're like, what?
Yep, pretty much every time. I don't know.
Right.
But generally for a girl, clitoral was quite easy. So my always suggestion is like a bullet. So a bullet is generally quite a smaller vibrator. So you can use it internally, or especially if it comes on a cord. If it doesn't have a cord, be careful.
If it doesn't have a cord, be
careful because you're not going to lose it, but you might put it up there and you're going to pull it with your fingers. So
I got you.
there's a lot of ones that are quite small, internal, and it just kind of like stimulates the inside, but you can also use it
like
externally.
Yes,
an egg.
Okay.
Oh, maybe that's different terminology for you.
But the eggs don't have the cord, so you're saying like don't get an egg your first time because it might get up there and you'll freak out. You'll be like, how do I get this vibrating egg out of my vagina?
Pretty much.
You call the hospital.
You will. I always say stick with something externally first.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
But something small. Always something small. We've got a really good range, and every single brand has a great range of small vibrators, but I always suggest something small.
Why something small?
Because people don't use lubricant, and they put it in and they hurt themselves, and then they say they bleed. I had that in an email the other day.
So you get turned on and you just start to like stick things in.
Yeah, people don't realize the importance of lube. So I always think start small, because a lot of women, when they have their first one, they actually don't put it inside of them. I know I never did for my first one. So that's why I always say something like a bullet, because you can use it for external pleasure, just focusing on your clitoris and seeing how that feels.
Right.
And then going from there, because you'd actually be surprised how quickly you can get off with a vibrator instead of your fingers. So I really do suggest something very, very small to start with, unless you're looking for internal penetration, G-spot action, in which case it's a whole other topic. But stick to something small. Something
So-
not too expensive
Yeah,
because
so-
you might not be your thing.
Yeah, so somebody's like a student or whatever. How much would they have to blow? Like, how much would they have to drop on a bullet type style vibrator?
Anything
to at
with
least get started?
batteries, anything with batteries that you put batteries in, you can pretty much get for $20-30
All right, so
Singaporean.
that's like nothing basically.
Pretty much nothing. But then when you're getting into a solid-ish small vibrator, you're looking at 40 to 50.
Okay.
I have my favorite, which most of my friends have, a little pink bliss, and it's small. It's maybe like 10 centimeters long, maybe 2.5-3 centimeters wide. It's nice soft silicone. It does the job.
Mm.
It's curved a little bit, so you can kind of hump it on the side if you don't want to put it in. It's nice and flat, so it goes right over your clitoris. Just something simple.
Mm.
But Sarah, email me again. Actually, I'll just get back to you, and I will give you a bit more of a rundown on what I think is the best thing for you to start. But thank you so much for your question. So we're now down to fast facts. So, the average male will masturbate over 1,000 times before he will actually have sex.
Unless you're raped as a child.
That's really awful. Take that back. Can we change that? Apparently not. So a guy will masturbate 1,000 times before he actually has sex, which I can
Sounds about
totally
right.
believe.
Sounds about right, yeah.
I mean, if you
Once you pop, you really
Don't stop.
No, you just don't. No. If there was no refractory period, guys would just wear their dicks off into bloody stumps. That would
I
be
feel
it.
that Pringles and guys masturbating kind of goes in hand because once you pop, you can't stop.
Yeah.
Boom. I feel like we need some boom boom ting.
Salty.
Oh God, here we go. We could get into far worse. When it comes to a female and girls, 83% of them give themselves a helping hand. While 31% of women said they indulge several times a week, only 12% do it every day. So I guess I'm in that 12 percentile.
So 12% every day.
12% do it every day.
Wow.
But it's all very much in inverted commas because women are never honest. But 83% say that they do.
Mm-hmm.
So there is 17% that don't. That was good maths.
Wow.
That don't. So nuns.
Or let's say haven't yet.
Haven't yet because they haven't had an orgasm. See, Hunk will help you with that. When it comes to men, a whopping 94% of men, of course they do. I'm surprised this isn't 99.9 recurring.
Have masturbated?
Masturbate.
All right, like masturbate. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
But 94%, I really would have thought higher. But this is a study. 60% of them confessing to do it 7 times a week and 35% admitting to getting their rocks off daily.
Mm-hmm.
I think 7 times a week and daily is the same.
Sounds about the same.
But
We'll have to check our math, Singapore. Let us know. Let us know.
hey, I'm just reading the fact. I'm being
But
factual.
That sounds about right. Once a day is about right. Like I've gone. I went like 6 months ago. I wanted to see how long I could go without masturbating, and I think I got like a week in, and then I just had to fuck something because I didn't want to break my rule, so I just had sex.
I'm so excited for Male Masturbation Day. It's going to be an awesome topic. So that's all from us. Thank you so much, female masturbators out there. Keep masturbating and enjoying. That's us out. Good night.
Good night.